pine tree, and we had the hazards. You see the notch I took out, which I used not the common notch, but the open face notch. It was about 80 degrees open, allow this tree to go all the way down into the location that we had planned for it, and it worked very, very well. It had a little bit of back lean to it, so I was able to wedge that up. So the guys were able to actually see how a notch and hinge would work in this particular situation.
Push, pull, kick back. We got to start from this lower corner with our bore cut.
You see the notch I took out.
If I'm cutting a tree from the back, my eye needs to be watching the face notch pretty quick. Because if I don't put myself so I can see the face notch, I'm probably going to cut my hinge too thin or too thick. I want my eye on the face notch.
And then you tighten one, take one able to stack. That gives you a flat surface. They don't kick back out.
Now, if I stack like this, it kicks out. If I stack this way, I have a flat surface. Gotta have 3 wedges. One's a shim, another one. There it goes.
You can see there as the tree fell, a lot of debris coming out of that hardwood tree there to the left. And it's amazing how the hinge holds.
This is how a lot of struck by injuries happen. These guys cut the tree and they want to run out there and cut it up real fast. Look at that, it's starting to separate here. But we'll measure it here in a minute. I think it's pretty close to 2. Imagine, I think I've got probably a 2-inch hinge on this one. For all your purposes, you're not worried about the log splitting. You're worried about getting it where you need it to go. So went exactly where we had it hinged. Now, the neat thing about having a plan, we can come back, reevaluate, see what worked and what didn't. If I wanted to make it go over there maybe 3 feet more to the right, I would hold more over here and thin out on this side. But can that really work? A Mead Paper fiber specialist said, if you had a hinge, we were talking about tapered hinges and swing cuts and stuff. We taught swing cuts on logging fronts where you had open, area on clear cuts for years. Soren was amazing at it. When OSHA changed in '94, they basically stated you had to have a hinge all the way across. You could still use a tapered hinge. The reason why I did that, there's so many times when you get into select cuts like this, like going past that, if we would have had, say, that side gone over here or kept there with it while we were cutting, when it hit that first limb, where would that tree be? It slid over into that tree.
In the middle of it.
So basically, as long as I had the hinge, it just kind of worked itself past it. In a clear cut, it's no problem, but in a select cut, now every little limb that hits stops you or turns you. I have a controlling hinge all the way across. So I was asking the guy with Mead Paper fiber. He said, well, think about this. When this tree starts to go, let's say you had a 1-inch hinge. Where does it start to break from first, the back or the front?
Back.
Back. And look what happened here. The back broke first, didn't it? The front's still attached. How about if it's this thick? Let's say it's 4 inches. And it starts to go, where's it break from first? The back or the front? The back. The back. But farther back, isn't it? So let's say we leave 1 inch over here down to 3/8 over here. Now when this tree starts to fall, where does it pull and break from first? The thick side or the thin side?
Thick side.
Thick side. When you start to look at how that fiber works, unless you cut it off over here, you can't twist. I see people, they can be pretty accurate with it. They'll leave a kind of a corner over here and take this off over here, and they can get that tree to kind of pull around. Where do they have to be to do it? And what did we say was the #1 injury and fatality cause?
15 foot.
Struck by.
Struck by.
So when your technique is you got to stay right there to steer the tree, that's one of the most dangerous things that you can possibly do. Because if we wanted to pull that over another 3 or 4 feet, well, all we need to do is what?
They can think.
Just move my hinges. I start to look through that process. That's the part that's going to hold. And as you see, I'm a little bit fickle now, and I really didn't get much of a twist or pull fiber, even if I was going to log this thing. But for you guys, all you need is accuracy. And so that hinge gives you that accuracy if you take good information.